here with Greenville's very own 864 Gordo. What is the music scene like in Greenville?
It's actually a melting pot. We have a lot of artists that I think are blooming and are set to blow. I think it just takes the right light, which we have people like you for, and we like to thank you guys for. I think it's a melting pot that's just ready to bowl over, period.
All right, so tell me a little bit about yourself. Why the name, well, I'm going to assume you love where you're from, but why the name 864? Like, how'd you get into music? Just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Cool. So 864, of course, is my area code. Gordo came from Spanish class, 10th grade. My nickname was Fat as a kid because I was, ironically, a very fat child. And then my teacher just started calling me Gordo in Spanish because it was a translation. So it was like, oh, I don't want to be called 864 Fat. Let's make it a little more catchy, so 864 Gordo. And the reason being is I love where I'm from, but also I feel like before anything, the music that you hear is all rooted from the 864. So that comes first, and then myself second. There you go.
That's so. So how did you get into music? Like what age? What inspired that?
I always loved it. Since I was 3 or 4. You'll see videos of me on VHS bumping to Busta Rhymes and watching his videos. So I think 9th, 10th grade, I met one of my really good friends, Junior, who made beats, and I used to wrote poetry, and he was always, bro, you should rap. And until freshman year of college, when I hit a depression, I just started writing, and all of a sudden it went to, okay, let's put it over these poems over beats, and then it went from that to it was trash to now here we are. So.
And talking about depression and things like that, because you were really open with this Catch-22 album, you know, the reasoning behind it. But before we get into that completely, with depression and dealing with that, you know, your freshman year of college, did you understand what it was, or were you just going through emotions and just tucking the feelings in?
No, I didn't know what it really was. You hear people talk about it a lot, but I was, for the most part, a happy kid. Like I can talk to anybody. I was very much so the person that, you know, you come to, or you just come around because I'm a light. Usually I'll crack jokes and make everything lighter. Not really knowing that I was depressed the whole time. In 9th grade, I think I just kind of hit I hit a kind of a wall of, who am I? What is my identity? Do I really love what I've been doing this whole time? Like, is school really important? Like, it's all these things, and I just kind of got through it by writing, and then realizing, like, oh my God, like these things stem from childhood traumas and getting told no, and you can't do this, and not seeing people from my city do more than what they knew they were capable of doing because of their mindset. And so it was just a big shell shock, and it's something I deal with daily. Of course, you win some days, you lose some days. These days, I'm starting to win more days than lose, so that's awesome.
We're definitely here for the winning. So, in September of 2020, you released 917. Now, was this album a creation of the quarantine, or was this something that was already in the works?
Yeah, so it was already in the works, probably a year and a half in the works. So 917 came from 916. It was kind of the follow-up to that, one of my very first mixtapes.
Right.
And I was just like, oh, how can we just flip it? And I was like, oh, let's flip it to 917. Let's just make it one more. And it was just more so to show my growth as an artist, to show I could do this, do that. I could sing a little bit, not a lot. I'm not an R&B singer, but I could hold a tune, and I had a lot of things to show for growth, which set up for Catch-22.
Showing how versatile you are, and you were saying earlier how Greenville is a music melting pot. What are some of the artists that inspired you, from mainstream to even your fellow local artists?
Cool. So we have big advocate for Lil Wayne, for sure. I'm a big Lil Wayne fan. Drake, Wale, like I said, Busta Rhymes, T.I., the Rick Ross, Rhapsody. If you guys don't know her, you guys need to go look at her. Missy Elliott was one of my favorite artists growing up as well. All these artists were just people who were able to express themselves in ways that, how are you talking about my life and you don't know me? This is crazy. And then locally, my cousin Quentin was actually somebody who was like, you should rap, little cuz. And like now I'm inspired by people like Chelsea Nicole, who's from Rock Hill, she's from the 803. Priest Clay, he's from the 864. Play, or Raheem, he's from Spartanburg. These are artists that like I listen to frequently, even Butter before he passed, that I listened to and was like, oh, like, you're just as good as everybody else. It's just we don't have the light shine on us yet. So those are people who really inspired me for sure.
And I would say on the outside looking in, being from Charleston, it looks like the 864, you guys have a lot of camaraderie when it comes to working with each other and just, if not working with each other, just showing love, sharing the music. So is that something that is really true, or is it what it looks like?
I think we're getting there. I think we're starting to see that we can't get too much further without one another. To blossom, I want us to be the Atlanta, the New York, the Chicago, the now Memphis, they took in there, even with them beefing in the middle of their city, somehow they starting to pop off and helping each other. And then like I went to Florida. I just went to Florida and artists I'd never heard before, they're playing them on the radio and I'm like, who is this? And they're like, oh, he's from here. He has a big buzz, and like we have people who are having whole careers as if they're mainstream artists and touring in their state and no one else knows about them. But that would be fine for me. I mean, like if you can, global, cool. I would love to be global. That's why I have the globe. But if I can just at least get the love and support from my city, everything else will follow suit.
But you talking about getting the love and support, but according to your Instagram, it's like, you know, I creep or whatever.
Okay.
That's my job. I was looking and you had a sold out show in the midst of a pandemic, in the midst of a Panera Bread. So you got the support. So tell me more. How was that?
In the middle of a pancake.
Middle of a pancake.
Yeah, so, you know, I was actually in Germany. I was on the phone with my lady, actually, in October or November of 2019. And I said, you know what? I've been wanting to do a show. And I said, I don't think people will come. She said, you tripping, like people gonna come. Like, you know what? You right, I was off to drink a little bit. They will come to my show. I'm gonna do a show. And ironically, man, I might have sold it out within like a week and a half of dropping the ticket sales. And yeah, I sold out a show before Panini hit. That was awesome. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing. Didn't think it would happen, but it did. And I can't wait to do more once outside open back up.
That is really awesome. You know, outside is going to be open before you know it. So how has the pandemic changed you as an artist? How has it changed the way you create? If it changed anything at all?
I think for the most part, it just gave me more time to think. You know, a lot of people were outside. We were busy all the time, here, there. Especially when it first hit, when everybody had to literally be in the house at all times. It made you deal with yourself. Here's where Catch-22 comes, because now these feelings and thoughts that I typically wouldn't have because I was either at work, in the office, or I was busy doing this, running to this event, running to this event. No, you need to deal with yourself. And dealing with myself was tough in some places, because you realize like, oh my gosh, like there's some itches that you haven't scratched yet. There's some things that you still need to work on. So I think for the most part, I have lost some friends due to the pandemic, but it's been a blessing for me mentally and internally, for sure.
Everyone, I think it's like 1 to 3 people has to be the strong friend. So we can all relate to that, and you know, just having people go to you and come to you when you're dealing with these emotions. So putting that all in an album, how did your friends, did you play it to your friends before it came out, or like what was the reaction?
So my close friends probably had it already. There was talks I had to have with like my mom. It's been a task, because I don't ever want to set out to be like malicious when I speak on things, and you know, it can be very, very hard to tell your truth without harming someone else's image, because at the end of the day, this is just what I see. So I always try to tell it from a unbiased, this is my side of the story, this is how I feel about this. And this is the first time I kind of just let it all go. So it wasn't hard. Yes, my friends heard it. Shark Tank got opened up a lot. Maria Maya's song, which is dedicated to my sister and mom. It was hard to let them know, like, my mom, like she wasn't like have a baby now. But it was like she was sad that she doesn't have a grandchild yet. And it was hard to express in a song that like, hey mom, like this, you know, this is my life too. Like I have to make sure that I'm ready for this. Yes, I know you'll be the best grandma there is, but I have to make sure I try to be the best father. And then traveling and everything else, I think I kind of, at times I could have been a better brother. I could have been there for my sister more, but I wasn't, because I was always on the road. So to really put that out and actually put it on wax and put it out for the world to see that, like, I'm not a perfect individual. I'm just like everyone else. It was tough. It was tough. A lot of crying.
And why the album title Catch-22? I mean, we know what a Catch-22 is, but why Catch-22?
I was caught up in the damned if you do, damned if you don't situation, to where, you know, there were times where, like, I just allowed everybody to pour into me, and then there was times where I was like, man, I'm too accessible. Like, I can't do this. Like, it's too much. And every day, you know, sometimes our decisions are different because how we are and what our circumstances are. So sometimes it'll be good, sometimes it'll be bad. It's a catch-22 situation. But also between that, through the album, all of the beats this time were trap drums that I was picking with my producer and engineer, Junior. Shout out to him. And so I was like, oh, okay, like a Catch-22 is like a trapped situation. Let's do like trap beats, but make it even more creative, to where, like, we're singing, sometimes it's very melodic. Sometimes I am talking and being as cocky as I can be. Sometimes I am insecure. I can be open and vulnerable. I can be closed off. I can be in a rage. I can be happy, sad. It's all over trap beat stuff. So that's where it came from.
And earlier you spoke about being in Germany. What? I didn't know. What were you doing in Germany?
It's traveling. You know, it was something. That's where actually the song on the mixtape Autobahn. So the Autobahn is the highway in Germany. So if you hear me say doing 140 all on the highway in Germany, wasn't even speaking. There's no speed limit on that highway. So I was really doing 140 on the highway. There is no cap in my rap, people. No cap in my rap.
So when can we expect to see some more visuals from this album? I'm excited. You have a very exciting
yes. So I have Welcome Back, Activists, yesterday. They should be dropping within the next few days of you guys hearing this, for sure. I have a lot of visuals. I need to do something for Issa Rae, Shark Tank as well. Yeah, so I have like 5 visuals coming for that. Shout out to Plot Pressure Productions. You guys are awesome.
So where can the people find you? Where can they follow you, download your music, all that good stuff?
864 Gordo on Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat. Don't follow me on Facebook. That's for my family, because I got it. You know how y'all get. But yeah, I'm everywhere. If you guys need to hit me for any reason, features, just advice, anything like that, 864gordo@gmail.com. Or hit Brady Brilliant. He's my awesome manager right now, so hit him as well.
Well, can we expect you to be back outside with some performances this summer?
Yes, I actually have a couple shows coming up. Hopefully by the end of the summer. I'm just waiting for the venues to give me the okay that I can throw a show. And I need some more sold out crowds. You guys need to help me quit my day job. I have 2 degrees, but I don't want to use them if I don't have to.
Come on, 2 degrees. And lastly, if they want to cop the 864 Gordo merch, where can they get
Hit me on Instagram. I got Catch-22 merch coming, everything coming. See me on Instagram.
Is there anything that I left out that you want to add?
No, but thank you so much, Kris, Kaylin. The light you have on me is exactly what you're shining over us, period. So you just need to make sure that you continue to do that. I see you just did an interview with Master P and Dame. Listen, you're on your way. For sure.
Thank you. Oh, one more thing. If you have clean music, I need you to submit it to the Chucktown Hit Factory.
I got it.
I need to get that on camera, so in case you don't send it, I have footage that you didn't send.
Chucktown. In fact, in the next week, you will have every song from Catch-22. And matter of fact, I got some exclusives for you, because we stay working. So yeah, for sure.
Awesome. Thank you so much.